Hello, everyone, and very good afternoon to all of you. I must, I must acknowledge, as the representative of Indian fintech space, I'm very proud to showcase or share the story of Indian payments growth in front of all of you, and not just the audience from India. Also, I think we have viewers from 30 plus countries. So, very much thank you to come today and hear out the Indian payment story. I think before I start the global story, right, I'd like to share some personal observation to put things in perspective. I think if you imagine 10 years ago, right, if you are in Bangalore, and if you miss wallet in your home when you're stepping out, you always had to run back because it was so difficult to get out anywhere using cash. But fast forward to 2020, 2020, right, today you don't even care about taking wallet out. Because right from a cab driver to your milkman, everyone is like accepting and sharing digital payments, right? And that, I'd say, the biggest change which happened in the digital payment ecosystem in the last 10 years. Digital transactions in India has grown more than 90% in the last 3 years, right? And a lot of people in this room would know about back in 1990, we introduced the electronic check clearing, right? And that was the first movement towards making transactions more digital, more real. The check clearing system, I think, reduced the check clearing time from 3 days to almost the same day. And sometimes it even used to take a week. And then after that, we added NEFT RTGS to make payments on the same day, right? Yeah, and after that, I think there's a question for everyone, right? So when do you think the online banking system in India started? Right? Any guesses from the people? Sorry? Yeah. That's slightly far. I think online banking in India started in 1996. And today it is like literally, like unimaginable to think of any bank in India not providing online banking. We'll take that question, sir, after the presentation. Thank you. And I must say, right, it took a village to reach to that level. I think there has been support by government, regulator, NPCI, and digital payment has seen thriving, after that. And none of the story in digital payments is incomplete without mentioning UPI. I think UPI has accelerated the entire growth of digital payments. In the month of October, we have seen more than 700 crores of transaction happening just on UPI and processed more than 12 lakh crores worth of volume on the back of UPI. Yeah, and I take very pride to introduce you to this slide. I think today where the country is, India is one of the, leader in global fintech adoption. Right? So India today has more than 87% rate of fintech adoption compared to global average of 64%. Right? And India today is, I think, third largest fintech ecosystem in the world after US and China. And even chief economic advisor has shared India will have more than $1 trillion of market in fintech by 2030. Right? And I just mentioned about UPI, right? I think with the UPI, we are doing almost 7 billion transactions a month. No, sorry, I think we are doing 7 billion transactions a month, and there is a vision of government to make it 1 billion transactions per day in UPI very soon. And RBI is also experimenting around digital rupee for wholesale segments. So we are yet to see whether digital payments could grow, but we are very confident about the entire growth of digital payments and instant payments. And we believe we are very much in the track of putting India on the less cash economy, like in the near future. So other than UPI, what is hot in India, right? So because the rise in fintech adoption, right? Every year we see a lot of demand for digital payment for the user. And this has been pushing fintech companies to adopt more and more innovative product, right? As fintech companies started creating more innovative product to meet the client requirement, this has also led to, right, growth in product innovation plus creation of high-tech digital talent in India. So a lot of these companies in payment today are focusing a lot on contactless payment. They're focusing on bulk processing of payments. They're focusing on QR code payment. And they're also focusing on verification, which are very adjacent to verification, risk mitigation, which are very adjacent to payment processing. Right? If I just have to quickly take you through the digital payment transaction growth, right? This number was 4,500 crores in financial year 2020. This number grew to 5,000 crores in financial 2021. And in financial 2022, we crossed almost 8,000 crores in terms of number of digital transactions happening in India. And that number is close to an 80 billion, just to put things in perspective. So just now I have taken you to the India journey of fintech. We are just going to share how Cashfree payments is helping Indian businesses manage and accept payments in a way. So I'm going to present a few case studies. I think we work with one of the largest retailer in India in the fashion and cosmetic industry, right? They have customers, across the India who come to their website or app to buy their product. So they use Cashfree payment solution to accept payments from their customers through 120 payment method, right? Plus they have like thousands of sellers on the platform. They also use Cashfree dispersal solution to make commission to the sellers almost on a daily basis. Plus this retailer also has sellers across the world, right? So now there is always a difficulty, how do I settle money to the global sellers, in an instant and efficient way. And that is where they are able to use Cashfree solution to help settle commission to their sellers no matter where in the globe they are. So this is one example, right? I mean, now that we have all these solutions ready in India, it becomes anyone to start a digital retail or any kind of e-com solution in India, because we have all the retail relevant payment methods available for them to scale, and not just to sell in India, but also sell globally with a minimal, effort. And plus, right, a lot of these e-commerce retailers run this marketing campaigns during season. And there is a very big demand of getting the cash faster to their account, right? So we also have a product called Instant Settlement, through which all these online players can access their funds within 50 minutes of customer making the transaction, right? So they don't have to wait for 2 days. And now with this product, they can resupply the inventory much faster than what they could do in the normal days. The second use case, which is very interesting, the second use case is about a last mile delivery application, right? So they employ more than 2 lakh drivers on the platform. And all these drivers have the demand of getting wages on time, right? And this has been a big of headache for all this company working hyperlocal space. But with Cashfree payout solution, they're able to disburse wages to these guys, like literally on everyday basis. Plus, all the all lakh drivers get money within 15 minutes of starting the process, right? So imagine you're running a company. The driver A gets some money say 8 a.m. and the driver 2 gets some money at 5 p.m. So a lot of panic gets created in the ecosystem for that company, right? But so they need a solution which can disburse all these payments at scale and at a faster rate, so that money reaches to everyone and on time. Plus, they're also able to use a solution to disburse refund to the customer faster, right? I think imagine 5 years back when you purchase something online. Now you have to refund the product, right? These businesses will ask you to share your bank account number. It used to take maybe a day. Then they have to validate the bank account number, which takes another day, right? And as a customer, you feel jittery about the money. But with our solution, these guys can simply send a link to the customer. Customer themselves enter the bank account number and receive money within 10 seconds of entering that. So a lot of these things are, bringing trust back to the online ecosystem because of the growth in payment innovation, right? Something which was missing, say, 7 to 10 years back in India. The third use case I'm going to present is about an offline chain of coffees in India, right? It's a very large chain in India. And they're also using digital payments to improve experience for the customer, right? So they use Cashfree solution to put a UPI QR code on the bill they generate, right? So their customers don't have to worry about or ask anything when they have to use a digital payment. Second, they also have put a static QR code across all of their, more than 10,000 stores across India, right? So if you're walking in, you don't have to, even you forgot your wallet, right? You can simply take out your mobile, scan the QR code, and then make the payment for the purchases you are making. So these 3 examples that tell us, right, no matter whether you are running businesses online and offline space, there are all sorts of relevant payment technology available in India today to scale your business to new height, right? If you are trying to sell to Indian customers, even if you're trying to sell to global customers, we have built all these technologies in the last 7 to 10 years so that anyone who's trying to, become a leader online space, they can do it through all this innovative payment technology that we have built. So moving forward, I think we discussed about how, things have changed in the domestic landscape, how Indian ecosystem or payments have helped all the Indian sellers. I'll just quickly cross through it. Right. So now I think we are also actively trying to put all the innovation we have done in India on the global landscape, right? So recently we have seen, countries across the globe adopting Indian payments in some form, right? We have countries like UAE, Saudi, Maldives, Oman, even France, right? They're also in the race of adopting Indian payments for their own needs, right? And this is going to help us, make cross-border transaction more seamless, and also going to help, travelers or students who are going out of India and trying to make payment on these countries. So recently, we have also, I think, NIPL, which is international arm of NPCI, has also partnered with a European payments company, and that is going to help them put UPI QR code on the POS machines in those geographies, right? So this is, don't be wonder, right? Today, I can take my UPI app and shop anywhere in India, right? In next 5 years, I can just take the same mobile phone, go anywhere in the world, and still be able to use the same payment ecosystem. And that is when we can see the Indian digital ecosystem is reaching to a new height. And I think that is not something, which is very surprising, to see in next 5 years. And overall, right, I think other than these growths, right, I think this entire fintech ecosystem has the potential to reach $200 billion in revenue in the next 5 years. In last 3 years, we have seen more than $9 billion investment just in digital lending space. And all this thing, right, has created a huge number of tech talent in India. And there we are ready to take any kind of changes, any kind of demand which is going to appear in the Indian ecosystem. Just to right, I think fintech has emerged as a very strong force multiplier in the ecosystem. I think to cater to the vision of 5 trillion economy, I think fintech has to play a very significant role, because fintech brings the efficiency, it brings the speed, it brings the reliability on the system, and I think fintech will act as like force which can take India to $5 trillion economy. Right? So just, I'm going to leave this with a very big thought. I think today it's very easy for all us to change as the mobile service provider, right? I can get to retain the same phone number, and whoever is giving the best service, I can go and work with that provider. But to imagine the same thing in banking ecosystem has been a bit difficult, right? This is something regulator has shared, few years back. It's still a dream. Today, changing a bank account is very cumbersome process, because I have a lot of credit and debit rules already set in the bank account. But in the near future, right, imagining I should be able to change my bank account from bank A to bank B without going through any hassle is what we are envisioning could happen in the future. And that will also stifle, humongous amount of innovation, humongous amount of growth. And that is something I'm going to leave the audience today with this thought. Just imagine how your life is going to change if such kind of, easiness happens. Thank you.